I hope everybody's had a great weekend. It's March 23rd, 2014. Let's get started. As you can see, I'm bringing you a message of faith, hope, and love. As you can see that right there. You see that right there? Look what closer it says. Home of Sergeant Morehouse Russell. Only. Which means if my hind parts is not awake drinking coffee, and you didn't ring the doorbell, you sure as heck ain't getting in. Courtesy of this high-tech security system who would never dare betray me and my son or anybody else that comes in here and stays a while. If you're a friend, you'll ring the gosh darn doorbell like everybody else. My sister does it like it's hilarious. Give me a text, cell phone, hey, can I come over for a while? Call. Alright. Be okay. Schlubs. Having this humongous bachelor pad. I look out for neighbors as they look out for me. You know, I don't always do things like clockwork because I like to make it interesting. Having such a job trying to cheer you folks up all over the world, that is my job. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And to think, while you're waiting for me, you can always look for something like Smithsonian, the news in your city, your town. See the search bar on my channel specifically, type in news. It'll bring you everything. It'll make you not want cable in the middle of the Saudi Arabia desert no more. Because everything right here is at your fingertips. Type cartoons, type it away, you'll be right. You'll see the search bar on top of the video, right there. And go right, I'll bring it up. Anything you could ever want to learn, trade, right there. Carrying on. Let's turn to the Bible, Psalm 86. That's prayer in time of distress. I think a lot of people go through a lot of distress in their lives, whether young and old, even infants. Remember what I taught you in the video, if you watched the video, that BX, what's good for babies, what's not. I recommend this video, especially for parents first starting out. I wasn't watching a video when my child was born. I was watching the birth of my son. That's something I share with you all. And then learning, remembering what my parents taught me to how to, clothe a baby, make sure they're not suffering from too much milk. How do you know your infant daughter or son has gas? Well, they're not happy for one, and they're not going to sleep because they didn't burp for two. Remember that home remedy I taught you? Make sure it's one pinky away. You tie a small cloth around their waist, around their back, tie it, and make sure it's one finger snug so the cloth is over. Put your finger underneath, make sure it's not too tight, and then try burping. It should work, trust me. If all else fails and they're still mad, consult your pediatrician, your nurse on call. If you don't have a nurse nearby, I feel for your deep prayers. Please go out for you. Keep trying. Eventually, as long as the milk is not too hot, make sure you remember to test that part. Don't just hand the baby milk after you boil it. That's not going to roll over too well. Taste it first. If it's too hot, wait. And then give it. Don't rush. Rush, you remember, put yourself in their place. I don't think you're going to be in a good mood. Even if news is on or WWF, they're going to cry till your eyes fall out, okay? Take care of baby first. News can wait. Be okay. Oops. With that myself. Let's see here. Prayer of David. Prayer in time of distress. Incline your ear, Lord, and answer me, for I am poor and oppressed. Preserve my life, for I am devoted. Save your servant who trusts in you. You are my God. Be gracious to me, Lord. To you I call today. Gladden the soul of your servant. To you, Lord, I lift my soul. Lord, you are good and forgiving. Most merciful to all call upon you. Lord, hear my prayer. Listen to my cry for help. On the day of distress I call to you, for you will answer me. None amongst the gods can equal you, O Lord. nor can their deeds compare yours. All the nations you have made shall come to bow before you, Lord, and give honor to your name. For you and great do wondrous deeds, and you alone are God. Teach me, Lord, your way, that I may walk in my truth, single-hearted and revering your name. I will praise you with all my heart, glorify your name forever, Lord my God. O God, the arrogant have risen against me. Your mercy is to me is great. You have rescued me from the depths of Sheol. O God, the arrogant have risen against me. Your ruthless band has sought my life. To you they paid no heed. But you, Lord, are compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in mercy and truth. Turn to me, but be gracious to me. Give your strength to your servant. Save the son of your handmaid. Give me a sign of your favor. Make my enemies see to their confusion. That you, Lord, help and comfort me. Psalm 87. You and I get carried away. Sometimes we need a lot to read. TV doesn't always answer all the prayers. Even in the middle of the meanest desert, the Sahara Desert, in the middle of Saudi Arabia, while you're traveling to Egypt or Jerusalem, reading does a lot. Who would give anything just to have a tent, drink some coffee, run into people traveling on camels, whether horseback or by car, or what have you, young and old, all walks of life, the middle of the biggest tent, right before Jerusalem, right before Israel. Who would give anything just to read books? National Geographic, Jesus, just to see artwork, things you hear, not just at Smithsonian, all kinds of meanings that are in this book. Everybody understands the word Bible. As you can see right here, how many knew about St. Paul? Paul called apostles to the Gentiles. Paul preached to Athens above. How many knew that? Founded several churches in the Mediterranean region, authored at least 7 of the 27 books in the New Testament. He articulated much of emerging movements of theology and was a tireless promoter of faith. After his arrest in Jerusalem, he petitioned, as it talks about that part in the Bible, petitioned to be tried in Rome, where tradition holds that he was beheaded. And other people of importance of history, you see that? Paul, as you know, is one of the 12 disciples of Jesus. And there are other kinds of artifacts, apostles, talks about it, all kinds of things. Isn't that amazing painting? There are all kinds of things too. Merchants bringing on a camel. Some will sell you movies, like this one, Man on Fire, Denzel Washington. You see that? This understanding is a very meaningful meaning behind this movie, because it talks to you about how to protect your kid from anything. Because in certain countries, in certain states, every 30 seconds, a child is kidnapped. How do you prevent such measures? One, make sure they're fingerprinted, their records are up to date, the police know what your child looks like. If you're traveling abroad, make sure your U.S. passport is not far away from you. If you have second thoughts, leave it with the U.S. Embassy, the local police station, because nobody in the right butt's kick mind would come in there and say, I'm so-and-so, with a fake ID. They know how to load fake ID, okay? Police station or U.S. Embassy if you're American and you're traveling. Trust me. You come back, they take a photocopy of your ID, you come back, you take your passport, you leave. Have a nice day. God bless you. Amazing. I'm a genius. I just pretend I don't know anything until somebody asks. It runs well with the president and his wife who's watching this, and every other president, especially Putin. You can't go wrong there. G8 summit. Wow, that went real well because we're still working on Ukraine here. I think Ukraine needs an overhaul. It's going to take some time. Like, again, some people fear change. Change is a good thing, not necessarily a bad thing. Work it out. Piece of paper. Hey, you do better neighborhood watch, better security. Things become more peaceful. Yeah, they want things. You can't have, how do you say, control all the time. People want more stuff, more trade, more agreements, more everything America would like have. Freedom to express oneself. Work it out, play poker, chess, travel. Don't just stay in one spot your whole life. That makes no sense. I traveled. I've been to Rome. How many of you knew that? Speaking of Rome, make sure you see that movie, the new one out, 300, the continuation part. It's a must. I recommend it for families. Make sure you're a young girl adult. Uh, Not for kids. Too much realistic bloodshed. I don't know if you watched, recall Rome history. Just like the first movie. Make sure they understand it's just a movie. Okay? Alright. Dances with Wolves. If you're in the country and you're living here in Tennessee, I recommend this movie. It's number one. Ferris Bueller's Day Off teaches you a few things. Oh, you teenagers thought I forgot about you from 10th grade and up. Golly, here's a few pointers while I'm reading bedtime story. Okay, remember that part. Harry Potter. You'll get the hang. You'll get the hang of it. The message right there. Yeah, thought I forgot about you. Aw, no, I didn't. I own the video. Everything that's on this channel, I own. It's a multi-billion-dollar global nation put together from a computer. Hard to believe. My videos, don't want to hear anything third-party nonsense. Fudge cakes, no. My videos, it's my words, I own. Which amount of time you text me to work on? Don't you think it's a little overdue for extended time here? Make sure it's 15 minutes means exactly on. Look at the watch. That video should be 15 minutes. Exactly. Or longer. If they're longer, then they need to say 30 minutes. Work on it. Please, for the love of God. I've been trying to express that. Oh, and I feel for you text the ones that have tunnel vision. Do you know what causes bad vision? First of all, here's a hint. Being in the medical field for so long, which is why nobody questions me. Having a family of nurses. Bad lighting. You see that over there? That's not fluorescent because, not all fluorescent is good for you. That's a soft light. It's better. It brings in all kinds of things. You're not going blind reading in the dark. You can see things. If you're reading in the dark, there's something seriously wrong here. You're asking to go blind very quickly. I recommend it. If you're out in the middle of a camp, a flashlight, Duracell, can't go wrong there. Even in Saudi Arabia, you want to read something, you have no light, candle, flashlight, capiche, flashlight. You understand. Carrying on. Psalm 87, Zion, the truth birthplace. A psalm of the Korites. A song whose foundation is on holy mountains. The Lord loves the gates of Zion more than any dwelling Jacob glorious thing are said of you, O city of God. Rahab and Babylon I count amongst those who know me. See Philistia and Tyre with Ethiopia. This one was born there. In Zion it will be said, each one was born in it. The Most High will establish it. The Lord notes in the register of people, this one was born there. Salah. So singers and dancers, all my springs are in you. Amen. In nome te Patre, Amen. May God be with you wherever you are in the world, because peace is very much better than war. We have much things better to look at. New planet, new Earth, new to continuation Mars, where soon people are going to be traveling to Mars. We have so much more we're so capable of doing other than fighting. Work with me here, okay? All over the world. It's not the president's fault all the time. It's people who need to vote and do the right thing from now on. Those people make great choices. But you have to stand by those choices with integrity. Respect each other, regardless of where you come from or what culture, what have you. Trust me, I care for you. I wouldn't be on here wasting your time. Trust me, I know a lot of things. I'm only 35. I have people who are taller than me who are blown away. And remember, I remind them, hey, just because you're taller doesn't mean I'm not wiser than you. Remember who raised you, okay? Your friend, hello, work with me, we'll be alright. Brothers from a different mother, much love.